Hey, so Friday, right? Um I do a lot of things like most of you behind the scenes, but I wanted to share with you a couple of things that keep rolling around in my sphere, so to speak, my orbit before my son gets home from school. So, one of the things for me that has come up in the past 2 weeks has been the energy around abundance and heaven, Jesus, divine wealth, divine inheritance. And 2 weeks ago, I decided I was going to teach a class that I absolutely adore, that I have taught many, many times over, and it's the space of what does getting lucky mean to you? Like, is there a thing where it's not egotistical to claim what is yours? Is that a thing? Is it wrong of us to desire, to cultivate more of what's available to us? Is that wrong? Is it morally deceptive to say, I'd like more, please? And here's what I will say. When I went through my acupuncture that I did, I had a spontaneous meditation with Jesus. And he came to me and he said, as he walked beside me, he often does, and he handed me some bread. And a short while later, he handed me some fish. And he said, do you want more? And I said, well, yeah, I do. Didn't hesitate. I didn't question. I didn't second guess. Then I was as comfortable as I am talking to my husband with him. And yes, I'm saying Jesus, the one, the only. And several times in my life, we have walked as friends, conversating, and I see him as a divine teacher. I do not see him as an authority figure, as most people do. I see him as a teacher of esoteric and alchemy processes. So when he asked me if I wanted more, I said yes. And he says, all you have to do is ask. All you have to do is ask. And the symbology of the bread is the body. And the symbolic thing of the fish was abundance. So what he walked me through was taking in an embodiment of Christ energy with abundance, divine birthright. Epic. And then he held me like a baby in his arms and supported my body as I took in this new upgrade in my DNA and in my soul. And so with that being said, I could have questioned all the pieces of that. I could have thought in the moment, why? What is it about? Why me? I could have said, oh, I'm not, I can't do that. I can't receive from you that way. But I did. And I always do. Because by nature, that is who I am. And so when I allow that frequency to come into my body and anchor it into my soul, into the cells of my being, I think, how lucky am I? How beautifully designed are we as people that we have that kind of support waiting for us, wanting for us, desiring for us. And why we don't ask. Why we sit in our mind and we try to figure it out. And we go back and forth, and maybe this will work, and maybe that'll work, and oh, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. All the while not understanding that it is a frequency that we can move into. The space of letting go of the ego part of it. Because the truth is, most intuitives, most empaths, when they receive at the full capacity, when you receive at your full capacity, your wealth, the money, based on your energetic blueprint, you're going to move mountains. You're going to change the world. Because that's how you're wired. It's how you're created. Your fear. The fear that you will get it wrong, do it wrong, say it wrong, move wrong, miss the moment, blocks that space of what's really there for you. And the truth is, when you begin to step into your divine birthright, getting lucky is just the beginning. And what if that causes a ripple effect into all places and all parts of your life? I like to play in the magic of the universe. I like to play with the edges of what's possible. I like to play with alchemy. What is, what's not, form to formless, formless to form, one matter to another matter. I like to see what's possible. I like to push the edges of that standard. I always have. And in that way, I'm a rebel. But very traditional in the way that I am convicted. I'm so convicted that this has been my calling for 30 years to speak this over you. 30 years of sessions, clients, shifts, movements, birthed. Because when I set out on my journey at a very young age, I made the agreement with Jesus to be my teacher. Why? I don't know. That's what I chose. Doesn't matter. But I want to share with you, over the last, 48 hours ago, I did 45 mini sessions free. Gave them away. The reason why was because the energy on the 28th was needed to move. We needed to move into that space of divine alignment, to the possibility of what is here for us. And I knew that it was the right timing and the right space for, as those planets aligned and the birthing of a new era was dawning, I needed to shift as many people as possible. As quickly as possible, by the way. And so as I went in and I came out on the other side, so in between this time was also the time in which I received a new spiritual gift called Holy Fire on the day of the 28th, 2 years ago. And the purpose of Holy Fire is to ignite, to clear any energies and things that are holding you back. So I didn't even remember. that it was the anniversary of that day for me. It's also a celebration, if you're curious, in Jerusalem. Holy Fire is a celebration in Jerusalem. And so, by the way, honored and excited to receive that gift. Still unfolding it, by the way. When I get to the other side, I'll let you know what that is. But until then, I want you to think about the space of what it would feel like for you if you were lucky every day. Really lucky. Like, and can you receive that? If someone were to say to you, hey, here's a gift, would you deny the gift and think what strings are attached? Or would you receive it in the way that it was given to you? Because the truth is, most of the time, intuitives and empaths block our receiving. Block it. You block your receiving. Because it's uncomfortable to give and to receive. Most can give freely, without expectation. But when was the last time that you received from the energy that you have given out over the years, coming back to you, calling it back to you? This is why I teach Get Lucky. Because it is literally playing in the field of possibility, where all things are possible and nothing is off limits. In a grounded, very immersed way with your team of guides, with your soul, and embodied. Because it's fine and well to create something, but if it's not embodied, what are we doing? So, with that being said, if you're interested, Get Lucky starts in a couple weeks. Right now, I've got the doors open for 2/22. If you're interested in working on poverty vows and releasing the vows of poverty that you've made in past lifetimes, that's me. This is why sometimes when you take a manifestation course or why you read a book, it only lasts for a certain period of time before sabotage kicks in and, oh my God, it's not working anymore. Poverty vows are, honestly, in my 30 years of doing this, the most powerful thing that I have ever done. And that's saying a lot, because I've done a lot. But this is new intel that the soul can receive from the universe. And it's actually an 11-step process that I walk you through with me, one-on-one. Eventually, I will start teaching it and certifying it for people, which I've never been able to do before. But we have shifted as souls to a point where we can actually receive this wisdom and understand why, after generation and generation and generation, we have blocks still in abundance, and why sometimes we get capped, even though you may be earning and it may be great and all that stuff, but there may be a piece of it that is capped. Maybe when you get to a certain point, health issues come up, or a family member comes in and causes some chaos. There's reasons for that. And they lie in the past lifetimes of your soul. And unwinding that is what poverty vows are all about. It is the most powerful decision financially you will make as a soul. It changes your cells at a DNA level. So, I'd say do both. Why? Because if you release poverty vows, wouldn't you want to create from there? From a place of freedom? From a place of no limits? That's what I say. But I don't know. PM me if you're ready. Start thinking about what it would be like to be the luckiest person in the room. To always win the free gift. To sign up and the thing gets sent to you. I had a whole entire year dedicated to this practice to prove my theory and my concept. So, with that being said, all my love, it's Friday. Have a great weekend. Bye.